Hey guys, welcome back to Paper Made Me Do It. I have a very special journal to share with you today, and I will end up talking about all of the features of this journal that made me decide to purchase it and show you the inside as well. But before we get into that, I thought it would be fitting to start out with a little story time. So I'm going to give you a glimpse into what went on behind the scenes before I arrived at this purchase. So this journal is a one-of-a-kind that's made by Peg and All. I will link them in the description box below, their website. I did not know that this was even in existence, so it wasn't on my radar or on a wish list, so to speak. But I received an email from Peg and All. You can sign up for their email newsletters on their website. I received an email that talked about these Tintype journals. It gave a description and said that there were only 12 made in each of 4 sizes, and they were going to be released at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the day that I received the email. So in a sense, it was kind of I guess an impulse purchase. I ended up buying it the same night. That being said, there were several hours between the time that I received the email and actually made the purchase for me to run through some things in my head and determine whether or not I was going to actually purchase. I'll talk about that too shortly. But for story time, I get this email and I've run through these criteria in my head. I've decided, I want this journal. So I even went to the point of setting an alarm in my phone to make sure that I could immediately log on when they were released and make my purchase, because I had sifted through the website, looked at all of the available options, and I had one in mind that I really, really wanted. And I had even picked like my number 2 choice in case the first one fell through, in case someone beat me to the click. So I printed out, and of course, this may not be the case depending on when you find this video and log in, but I've highlighted the ones that are still currently available. These are what the options looked like on the website. They start out in the extra large size, which is the size, one size larger than what I actually purchased. And the ones that I've highlighted here are still available as of today, which is December 28th, 2019. So there are still a few available. And then from extra large, they were labeled as large, which is the size that I ended up purchasing. This number 30 Freya was my second choice. It's a beautiful picture. So these Tintype journals are made with original photos, obviously old photos, and they were not duplicated or copied, so there was only one of each available. This was my first choice, Callie, number 19. I wanted that one so bad because I wear hats from time to time, which is not super common these days. And the fact that she had on this cool hat, I connected with her immediately, and that was my first choice. But back to story time, I set an alarm on my phone, and I had told a few friends that I'm in a text group with that share my same interest and hobbies about the journals and the fact that I was going to log on. And so shortly after 8 o'clock that night, I'm in the Central Standard Time Zone, I got a text from one of those friends, and she said, did you get your journal? I see that some are already sold out. And I looked at the clock, and it was only 8 something, 8:20, 8:30. And I said, no, you must be looking at, I think they released something similar at Halloween and it sold out, you know. You must be looking at the wrong thing because these have not released yet. They release at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So in my twisted mind, I had thought that the time zones went in the opposite direction. OMG. So when I should have been logging on at 8 p.m., in my mind, I needed to log on at 10 p.m. So I had set the alarm in my phone for like 9:59 p.m. And I texted her all that, and she texted right back and said, 9 p.m. Eastern equals 8 p.m. Central. And so I was just immediately in this panic thinking, oh my gosh. So I logged in, and of course my top two choices, Callie and Freya, were already sold out. So initially that made me a little sad, and I started flipping through all of these options on the website, and I was looking at the photos, and they're just, you know, several others were already sold out quickly as well. There weren't any others that just really spoke to me or that I felt an immediate connection to. So I thought, okay, what I'm gonna do then, instead of looking at the photos, I didn't feel like I could choose that way. I decided that I would start looking at the names, because Peg and All, from what I understand, gave each journal their own name. I don't think they actually know who these people really were in real life and what their names actually were. So they gave them their own names. And I decided to look through the names to see if I found a name that I connected with. And when I did that, I came across, where did he go? I came across this one, number 33, Augustus. I liked that name, and I thought, I can call him Augie. And so that was the connection I needed. So I ended up adding number 33, Augustus, that I now refer to as Augie, to my cart. Checked out and was able to secure him. And now, I mean, I love it. So totally fine that I missed out on my two ladies. I'm a huge fan of Augie now. And what was really cool is on the belly band that the journal is packaged with, they actually wrote the number 33 and Augustus's name on here. So I think I'm gonna try to make some type of bookmark out of this to use in the journal. But as I was saying earlier, I kind of run through a mental checklist anytime I have like an impulse buy or any purchase that I'm contemplating. And some of the things I ask myself are you only interested because the item is on sale? And that was not an issue in this case, because these journals were not on sale, as in a sale price or reduced price. I also ask myself, are you only wanting this item because of FOMO, fear of missing out? And this may sound kind of silly, but what I ask myself to rule that out is, if I could never share this on social media or with anybody for that matter, if I buy this item and just strictly keep it to myself, am I going to be happy with it? Or am I only wanting it because it's popular, you know, out there, so to speak, and I want to, you know, share my pics or whatever? So that was not the case here either. If I had never shared this with anyone else, I wanted it to use myself. So that was able to mark FOMO off the list. Some of the other things that I look for when I'm thinking about adding to my collection are the quality. And I have purchased several items from Peg and All in the past, always been impressed with their quality. It's always been top notch. So that was checked off on the list. I like to look at the fact, is it handmade, handcrafted? that's a bonus for me, and I'll even show you the paper shortly that's hand torn. I also am a huge sucker for anything that is authentically old and repurposed. So when shabby chic kind of became big in recent years, you'll see a lot of items at stores like Hobby Lobby or similar stores where you can walk in and it's actually a brand new item that was just purchased. Like, let's take a wall sign, for example, a wooden wall sign that looks distressed. You know that item is brand new, but it was made to look old and distressed. Not to say that I would never purchase anything like that, but if given the option, I've always, no matter what, your style tends to change over the years, but my personal taste has always been to prefer authentic old items. I love going to antique shops and looking for rare finds, flea markets, things like that. And what's really cool about these journals is not only the old original pictures that were used, but the materials themselves, like the leather and the interior textiles that were used. They were discussed on the Paganal website that they were found to be circa 1800s. So the fact that some of these materials may be 150 upwards to almost 200 years old, I mean, sold. I love the idea of repurposing old items, materials, products. So you can see I just recently received this and I've not even used it yet. I'm going to break it in today, but I think I may do that in a separate video and share with y'all how I'm going to actually use it. But you can see that even though I haven't used it or handled it yet, there are a lot of natural markings on this reclaimed leather. Here you can see like some spots that have come on it with age. Okay, and then the textiles that they used on the inside are also quite old, which I think is super cool. Now you can see, I think, just by glancing at the quality and the construction, the binding of the paper, and the paper inside is also good quality. It says exactly what it is on the website, I believe. I want to say it's Strathmore paper. Not 100% sure on that, but I think that's what they use. But you can see how the edges are not perfectly straight because they actually hand tear this paper. And it is sewn in. Now when you first receive it, it's fairly stiff. So you can see here in the back, it doesn't want to lie flat. So I take these journals and kindly break them in. I'll just go to the center of the book and apply a little pressure and then literally move out one page at a time, applying pressure to either side to make them lie flatter, and over time they will lie flatter. I've already done that earlier with the front half of the book, so I just need to go in and break in the back half later. I have one other, just to give you a size comparison, one other Paganal journal in my current collection, and this is the mini size that was referred to as small in this release. So you can see the size of my hand. This is quite small, super cute. I think this is called the Harper journal, so this is part of their regular lineup. These were one of a kind, so one of each. When they're gone, they're gone. But these journals that are not the limited edition can be purchased all the time. They use similar textiles on the inside, and I'm just using this one for little sketches or little drawings. So this was the smallest size. There was another size between that was referred to as medium or maybe pocket. So it would be about this size. This was the third size that was referred to as large, or I believe standard. And then there's one even larger than this, maybe somewhere in the 6x9 family. The measurements are listed on the website, and it was referred to as extra large in this release, or I think it's referred to as maybe companion in the main line. I'm not sure. But anyway, this is a truly one-of-a-kind, repurposed, beautiful book. I'm so happy I was able to get one before they sold out, and I am happy with the result with Augustus, or Augie as he will be referred to by me. So if you have any questions or comments about this journal, just leave them in the comments below. When I do start using it, I'll try to record a little video and post that later so you can see how it's going to be used in my collection. But overall, super cool item. Super happy with the purchase. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you soon.